What's up guys, my name is Timbo and today we're going in depth with Destiny 2's campaign. Was the story good? Did it deliver on everything players were hoping for? Obviously I know that these questions are subjective and everyone is going to feel different. You might agree with what I'm about to say, you might not. If you guys know me, before it came out, I made a lot of videos on what I wanted to see in Destiny 2's story, giving suggestions, presenting theories, stuff like that. So I felt it only necessary to follow up on all those videos and tell you what I thought of the campaign. While I do consider myself to be a bit of a tough critic, just know that I do so because I want Destiny to be the very best it can be. That doesn't mean that everything I'm going to say is negative. I actually have quite a few good things to say about the story. All I'm saying is that if you're looking for me to praise every single little aspect of this game, then you are mistaken. And vice versa, this video isn't being made for me to call Destiny 2 trash. Destiny 2 is a good game. If you're thinking about buying it, then go do it. It's really as simple as that. Does that mean that the story in particular is great? Well, let's get into that. The opening to Destiny 2 is impressive. I could get into specifics, but frankly, I don't think I have to tell you that the beginning level is good, because it just is. And that's the thing, the first few hours of this game are just great. The second level in particular stood out to me as it really made you feel how much you rely on your powers, as you feel vulnerable against some of these enemies you'd otherwise dispose of in seconds. I honestly don't have any issues with the game, until you leave the EDZ, because it is at this moment where Destiny 2 becomes the one thing I hoped it wouldn't be. Look, is Destiny's campaign bad? No. Is it good? You know what? I'd be willing to say that it is. However, it's not good in the sense that I want it to be. What I mean is this. Vanilla Destiny's story was seen as bad because it was incoherent, went nowhere, and was just flat out confusing. The campaign in Destiny 2 addresses these issues, making a story with a plot line that one can follow, having actual characters, and conflict. On the surface, it's easy to compare these two and put Destiny 2's campaign on this pedestal. And you know what? People have every right to look at the improvement from one game to the next, but at the same time, you have to know what you're comparing this to. If we take the campaign for Destiny 2 and compare it to Destiny 1, it will appear like it's got the best story ever. But if we take Destiny 2's campaign and compare it to other games, it suddenly becomes absolutely trite. It's good in a sense that it has a beginning, middle, and end, but are these really characteristics that make a good story? If it were any other game, book, movie, porn, whatever, things like characters, plot, conflict, and coherence would just be expected going in. So I find it hard to praise this game's story for achieving something so basic and fundamental. It's like if you were going to order a pizza, but you got a box with a turd in it instead. You'd be like, where's my pizza? And if you had the courage to order another pizza from the same store, God help you, would you praise the place and give them 5 stars on Yelp if they gave you an actual pizza this time? No, you'd be like, okay, thanks for actually giving me what I was expecting. Douchebags. You see, every pizza place should be able to give you pizza. But what makes that pizza special is some toppings. So while Destiny 2 may not be the turd you got last time, it is still just a cheese pizza, with nothing else on top to give it any flavor. And you know what guys, I'll reiterate it again just to make myself clear. I'm fine with the story we got here. Being honest, I play Destiny for the endgame anyway. But if you want to hear me review this game as I would any other, this is just me being honest. The story here isn't bad. It's just bland, overused, cookie cutter, simple, safe. And nothing more than that. I soon realized this when I encountered Zavala on Titan. When I saw trailers for this game and watched how Bungie was promoting it, I hoped this wouldn't be the case. But somewhere in the back of my mind, I knew that I was just being optimistic. 3 new worlds, 3 vanguards, it was overtly shown to us. Here I'm referring to this game's story devolving into a 5th grade persuasive English paper. When you're a child first learning to write, your teacher will explain to you what is known as the 5-paragraph essay. Introduction, body paragraphs 1, 2, and 3, and conclusion. The good thing about this structure is that it's easy to grasp. Have 3 points you'd like to talk about, haphazardly throw them in, add a mundane question at the beginning, restate the thesis at the end, and congratulations, you have written yourself an elementary level essay. However, as you get older, at least for me, your teachers will start to guide you away from this format, opting you to write in a way where you can construct your thoughts and get across your points in a much more fluid manner. So while this 5-paragraph style is easy and gets the job done, it's also choppy, overused, and in high-level courses, is guaranteed to get you nothing more than a C. Which, is there anything wrong with getting a C? For some people, yeah, but generalizing here, a C is still considered passing. Destiny 2's story is passing, it's fine. But that doesn't mean it couldn't have worked a little harder for the A or the B. The big problem I have with the campaign is that it fails at being special or memorable. As soon as I did the first mission with Zavala, I knew I'd wind up on Cayde's planet and do the same thing with him, then move on to Ikora and do the same thing with her, just to get the band back together again, fight Gaul, and save the day. There was no plot twist, no surprises, nothing unexpected from that point on happens whatsoever. Which may be fine with you, but I was hoping for a little bit more, especially when you consider the potential Destiny 2's story had. Frankly, they played it safe and wasted it. The light was a huge part in this narrative, allowing Bungie to rewrite the formula, get into what it means to be a guardian, what it means to have the light. They had a chance to explain past mysteries like that of the Speaker, Osiris, and the Stranger. They could have thrown the heavy emotional impact as humanity loses its last safe city, all that it has left. You could have been dealing with the struggles as you, the protector of this city, the protector of all these people, has failed. Gaul could have been an extremely deep villain with passion and internal conflicts, but he wasn't. Everyone wasn't. It was still, bad guy wants to kill you, stop him before he does. There were countless times in this game where they were so close. The timing for certain events or scenes were set up perfectly, but for whatever reason, Bungie never pulled the trigger. I remember watching a Vidoc or Vidoc, I don't know how to pronounce it, a while back on the story. I remember Bungie bringing up how the game was supposed to go into themes like these, and it made me excited. I can specifically recall one of the developers saying that Zavala in particular is going to wonder, without the light, are we even Guardians anymore? And when I arrived on Titan, Zavala literally says, without the light, are we even Guardians anymore? He just states his motivation out loud to us all, as if we couldn't understand it any other way. Bungie. Show. Don't tell. When I think of some of my favorite games, a lot of them have the same format as Destiny, in good versus evil where good prevails no matter the odds. But they're able to do this so much better. For example, you guys know I love Uncharted. And you know what? Uncharted stories are very simple. There's a treasure, there's a bad guy, and more often than not, there's a curse or some historical legend that is unveiled as the story progresses. But what a game like Uncharted does so well is craft such deep, layered characters, especially in Uncharted 4. In that game, there's one treasure, but everyone is going after it for a different reason. Wraith, with all of the money in the world, wants the treasure to make a name for himself.
Don't give up! That's good! Don't send it to me! I had everything handed to me on a goddamn silver platter.
Sam wants to go on the adventure him and his brother dreamed of when they were kids, but has to deal with the fact that him and Nate aren't those kids anymore.
Listen, Avery's treasure was ours. It was always ours.
I left my light for you.
And Nathan not only wants to save his brother, but prove to himself that he isn't made for this life of treasure hunting, which he knows he can't do.
These are some of history's greatest pirates, and they all perished in an instant at this very table.
It's incredible.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
On top of that, you have a detailed, mysterious tale of the pirates of Libertalia. You have betrayal, you have plot twists, external conflict, internal conflict. All of this confined within a simple good versus evil narrative. Games like this is the standard I hold something like Destiny up to. And like I said, they were so close to achieving this, but they just never gave it that last push for whatever reason. It's easy to look at what we got and be happy with it. And there's nothing wrong with that if you feel this way. But if you take a step back and look at it, you cannot tell me that it couldn't have been better. All of the Vanguard characters remain static. Zavala is still stoic, Cayde is still a mindless goof, and Ikora is still a warlock. The Speaker and the console characters are just completely wasted with such insultingly bad deaths. You formulaically move from one planet to the next that kills the pacing and makes the plot predictable. Any emotional impact with the citizens of the last city is severely lacking. Gaul just sits on his ship and does nothing the whole game until it's time to face him. This game could have been so much more than this. It could have been about what it means to be a guardian, what it means to have the light, and who you become when it's taken away. It could have bridged the gap between good and evil, the light and the darkness, creating a gray area. Characters could have flipped sides, given up hope, or discovered for once who they truly are. You know, maybe Destiny can't have this story. As I'm sure you know, you get your powers back very early on in the game, which, in my opinion, makes little to no sense how you can do this but yet no one else can. From a gameplay standpoint, it's so you can start upgrading your subclass and have fun while leveling, but I gotta be honest, it kills this story. Imagine how powerful it could have been if you fight Gaul without the light. Or better yet, what if you seek out Osiris, who gives you a new subclass that isn't associated with the light? Maybe the strangers, they're all like, I told you our paths would cross again, little light. The ghost gets all rattled. It's a good time. Maybe the speaker betrays you, giving the light to Gaul in exchange for his life. You're able to band the Vanguard back together with the help of the stranger. Maybe someone like Zavala stays behind because he believes he's nothing without the light. You get together with people of the last city founded the farm, and you fight for them, not for your powers. You assault the last city and people are dying. It looks like it's all lost. Maybe there's a gun to your head or some nonsense. Then all of a sudden, that random space turtle gets shot away by what, you ask? A fallen ship. On said fallen ship is Uldren Sov, which Brandon makes no sense unless you saw my video on him, so go watch it. But he brings with him fallen catches as Kel come out of the ships and start fighting the Red Legion. Awoken troops come in as well, as they know what it's like to have their home destroyed. The camera cuts to Cade in trouble. He loses an arm, and just before he's about to get blasted to robot smithereens, out comes Zavala, who helps Cade up. Cade then says some witty remark. Zavala scoffs it off how he does. We're able to use the stranger's tech to zap into Gaul's ship. There he stands, looking menacingly at what you've done. The city burning in the background. Despite being on the losing side of the battle, he is confident with the light. In the final showdown with Gaul, the stranger tells you to distract him. She leaps up to the machine thingy, I don't know, that's crippling the traveler. Ghost asks, "'Cause we all know you couldn't say it. What are you doing?" Then the stranger says something cheesy like, "There's no other way. I kept trying to go back, to see if I could rewrite the future. But this is how it must be. Thank you, Guardian." Then she leaps into the machine in some crazy, stupid BS way, creates an explosion that destroys the machine, killing her in the process. Gaul arises. The traveler wakes and strips the light from him, choosing you as worthy of the light, not him. In his anger, he grabs the speaker, who says that line that he actually says in the game, like, "I speak for the traveler, but I don't talk to it," or something like that, I don't know. Gaul then kills the speaker in a non-stupid way. You and other Guardians get your powers back, and thus kick the ever-living crap out of Gaul and his stupid space turtle ass as the music gets all intense how it does. The city is saved, the light returns, and the same end result has been reached. Now, am I saying that that's a great story with no flaws or plot holes? Not at all. Am I saying that my story is better than Bungie's and I'm awesome and they should hire me? Definitely not. I'm just saying, I wrote that on the fly in between my classes in the library, and you cannot tell me that it is at least not more interesting than the story we were given. It might be more stupid, but at least things happen. That was the biggest point out of all my videos, I feel. I said a lot of the things Bungie could do with the story, but overall, I just wanted it to be interesting. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with the sea. I'm sure there's people out there that will think Destiny 2's story is great and flawless, and that's fine with me. The campaign we got was good. And when you look at all of the changes Bungie has made to the leveling systems, progression, economy, events, and more, Destiny 2 becomes a game that I'm very satisfied with. But this video is about the story, and in my opinion, it had so much more potential. But that's where I'm going to end it, guys. Make sure to tell me your thoughts in the comments below. Big announcement, tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern is part 1 to my channel's annual Raid Funny Moments, so if you could make sure to watch that, it would be greatly appreciated. The amount of editing that takes sort of explains the lack of editing in this video, so hopefully you're okay with that. I'm a busy guy. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Thank you all so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next one.